I think compliance can be seen as box ticking, whereas the new orders module is about quality and how you embed quality throughout the organisation. So for me, that's the biggest change.
There's something around trusts like North Bristol Trust, where we are today, who really are forward thinking and see that and want a total quality and safety system, not just little small systems that run alongside each other. They want to be able to see that whole picture. So it's really interesting and exciting to be here and see an organisation that's got that forward thinking approach that matches kind of the reasons why you came up with the product in the first place.
I think it's about setting a real steady foundation. When you're rolling out any system, it's really important to have that foundation in place. So working with these trusts, they have a really clear objective that they start out with, which is going to get them to the outcomes that they're after. So it's really important that they've got a really structured and process-driven approach.
One of the things we try and do in partnerships is work with the organisation up front to really understand what their objectives are, not just immediate objectives, because sometimes there's a real short-term view of we need to move from one system to another, or there's an immediate need, but actually what is the end game in terms of the data they want to be able to see, where they're pulling that data from, who needs to view it, is it for regulators, commissioners, what does that organisation have as an aspiration for the quality and safety programme, and then how can Radar Healthcare underpin that? And if we do that work up front, like we do with a lot of our organisations, we've got a really clear plan then to roll out and clear milestones as we go throughout, because there are so many different facets of Radar Healthcare. It's really important that everybody understands how they form that piece of the puzzle. I think there's a couple of pieces to it, because there's one that's having that really clear and strong quality, risk, compliance, governance programme and understanding what that is, understanding how tech underpins it, and then which is the right kind of tech and how that interoperates with one another. Because, you know, there's more than just the quality, safety and compliance element. There's workforce statistics, there's clinical information, there's lots of information that gives you that whole picture. So having that view of how you're going to pull all that data together, how you're going to view it, how you're going to work with it, is really important up front, and understanding that, you know, it's about getting systems that are interoperable and not a one-size-fits-all approach, and nor one system that can do absolutely everything. It's about having that real openness, and for suppliers to have an openness to want to work with one another alongside our partners to deliver the needs of their programmes.
I think for me, it's all about the user experience. So you have to make it easy for users to use the system. If it's not, it'll quickly fall by the wayside. So we spent a lot of time with our partners making sure that all areas of the system is as user-friendly as possible. It's the key driver to any system.
Yeah, and there's two pieces to the culture story, because it's that kind of cheesy adage. It's Jack Welch who says culture eats strategy for breakfast, but you need that kind of cultural approach to the rollout of the system, and understanding that the system's just one piece of the puzzle. You know, you can't just put a system in and hope everything's fine. It's got to have the considered approach, and we've seen at North Bristol Trust they've had that really clear view and strategy and user testing and putting advice and guidance back into the system to make sure the users really understand and have this clear view of what they're doing, and making it as seamless as possible for them to ensure that you're getting that quality information into the system, so that when it comes to getting the outputs, you know that they're based on accurate data. And that piece is really important, but also the culture of reporting, of recording audits, of recording incidents, about having that freedom to say what's happening, to not work in this sea of grey of just green, to Lee's earlier point of, you know, it's not just a tick box exercise. This is a whole system that lets you see where your risks are and lets you do something about them, and then monitor the effectiveness of what's happened in the long run. So it's really important to look at it culturally as the rollout of the system, but culturally how that sits within your organisation.